Hi, I'm Imelda, and welcome to Little Bottles, Big Shifts, bite-sized essential oil and wellness tips for women with ADHD brains. If your mind is always racing, your diffuser's covered in dust, and your self-care routine involves, well, forgetting that you even have one, then you're in the right place. I'm a full-time working mum to 2 kids, 2 dogs, and 2 cats. And having hit what I now know as burnout back in 2022, I've been on a roller coaster of a well-being journey since then. This crazy path has resulted in huge shifts within my life, including my recent ADHD diagnosis at the age of 43, alongside my eldest son. So now I'm here to chat through what I've learnt so far and what I'm continuing to discover. I can't pretend I'll have all the answers, but I'll be honest with my experiences and share tips and tricks that have really helped me and my mental well-being. This podcast is your weekly cuppa and catch-up with someone who gets it. I'll be sharing practical ways to use essential oils and other simple daily wellness rituals to support your brilliant, busy brain without needing a 37-step morning routine or pretending that you've got it all together. So whether you're trying to focus, calm the chaos, or just get through the day without snapping at the washing machine, this is your space. So let's crack on, shall we? Enjoy the episode.
All right, Putes. Thanks so much for joining me on my first ever episode. I am so glad you're here. Right, now let's start with a big one, shall we? We're not here to faff about after all. If you've grown up with undiagnosed ADHD, chances are you've spent years thinking that you're lazy, or that you're flaky, or chaotic, or basically just a bit rubbish at life admin. And if no one else has said it to you, you have probably said it to yourself many times. So, in today's episode, we're going to lovingly and gently throw that whole narrative in the bin. Because guess what? You're not lazy. Your brain is just wired differently. And honestly, it's a bloody brilliant brain once you know how to support it. So as I mentioned, I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was in my 40s. And before that, I literally just thought I was a bit of a disaster. So going back a few years, I was the kid who was constantly getting into trouble at school. Sorry, Mrs. Meacher, for flicking all that ink down your back, by the way. The teen who was always a little bit quirky, I think is safe to say. And then when that turned into being a grown-up, it was the grown-up who forgot to pay important bills, almost got a court summons for that once. And also, as with most of us, start about 47 notebooks, hoping that one of them is going to magically sort my entire life out. It's not happened yet. And I also feel like everyone else just had the instruction manual for life. There's no other way of putting it, really. I just felt like I was on the struggle bus. Now, although I didn't know it at the time, I was exhausted, running on fumes, as I'm sure a lot of you are as well. And I just thought I needed to try harder, be more on top of things, or just push myself further. Spoiler alert, that didn't work. So I ended up reaching out to my GP and getting help for anxiety and depression. Now, it wasn't until I started learning about how ADHD actually shows up in women that the penny finally dropped. So I remember reading a list of traits and my jaw just slowly dropping further and further towards the ground. Like, holy bejesus, this is actually me. And so suddenly, it all flipping started to make sense. So that 4-letter L-bomb, it's not the L-bomb that we're hoping for. It's the laziness. So let's break this down, shall we? So here's a little quick multiple choice question for you. Why do we think we're lazy? Is it A, because we struggle with executive function, with planning, prioritising, starting tasks? Is it B, because our energy comes in unpredictable bursts with literally no rhyme or reason? C, because we forget things a lot of the time and feel like a loser? Or is it D, because we've been masking and overcompensating for so long that we don't even know that we're masking and overcompensating anymore? It is literally just a part of who we are. So, what's your answer? I would say it's frickin' all of the above. And here's the thing. What looks like laziness from the outside is actually overwhelm, fatigue, or just nervous system shutdown on the inside. When your brain is in freeze mode, it's not because you don't care or you can't be asked. It's because your brain is working overtime to manage and process everything around you. And when you add hormones, life pressure, parenting, work, and 312 tabs open in your brain at once, it's no wonder we're fried like lava chicken. I mean, I don't even know if lava chicken is fried. I was just trying to sound cool. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're fried nonetheless. One of the first things I did once I realised it was likely I had ADHD, I started to try and talk to myself differently. So instead of saying I'm lazy, I tried, okay, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, and that's okay. Or, all right, this task seems massive, but what's the first thing that I need to do? Or, I think I might need to chat this through with someone. And all of that is fine. And now I'm going to sound like a bit of a twat. But just taking a little bit more me time has massively helped. So I try to get in a bit of yoga and breath work in every day. And I've started using essential oils way more intentionally. So oils like Balance, Adaptiv, and Wild Orange have really helped me feel anchored. When I pair all of that with some music, using my frickin' awesome noise-cancelling earbuds, which have just been a game changer, a strong cup of coffee and probably another notebook, then I feel like that has been a massive game changer for me. So if you're in that place at the moment where you feel like you just can't get started today, then maybe just try something along these lines. If you've already got essential oils, then just roll on or inhale an oil that just feels grounding to you. Something you can associate with calm and relaxation. For me, frankincense is a flippin' great one for this. So you can also just sit with your feet flat on the floor, set a timer for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and breathe, and sit, and just consciously slow down your thoughts. And then you can jot down what a tiny bit of progress would look like for you today. Is it just clearing the dishes from the dish rack that have literally been there for 2 weeks? No shame in that. Or is it just sorting one small pile of laundry, 10 minutes maximum? It's just starting with one tiny step, not the whole task, just one thing. And then you get to celebrate. Text a friend, light a candle, have a silent disco for one in your kitchen, which is my personal fave. Whatever works for you. Because ultimately you are not lazy, you are brave, you are awesome, and you are so not alone. I would love to hear from you. What story have you been telling yourself about your brain? And what would it feel like to be able to shift that? So you can come and find me on Instagram or drop me an email at theaspinalapothecary@gmail.com and I'll put that in the show notes. And it would be fab to share a few listener messages or comments in future episodes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Little Bottles, Big Shifts. I hope you found something within my ramblings helpful or inspiring. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all navigating our own unique paths with ADHD, and sharing our stories can make all the difference. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing so you never miss an update. It would also be amazing if you could spare a few minutes to leave a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like me to cover. Also, feel free to connect with me on social media. And if you know of anyone who might find this podcast useful, please do share it with them. And more importantly, be gentle with yourself. Embrace your strengths, learn from your challenges, and remember, every step forward is progress, no matter how small. I look forward to sharing more insights and stories with you next time. Until then, take care and stay curious.